Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 laps and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Hope you are having a great Tuesday morning. It is 4 minutes past the top of the hour. Hour number 1 is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. HappyHiller.com. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here from the Low T Center studio. Download the free Swain Event app for Android, Apple devices. You can view the show each and every morning here on Swain Event TV. A couple different platforms you can tap into. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook Live. December 21st, 4 days away from Christmas. Hope everyone got their Christmas shopping in, and I know you have it. So, good luck getting it done. Good luck. Good luck. Ben, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Man, woke up this morning, feet hit the bed, feet out the bed, hit the floor, was ready to roll, man. Ready to roll. Ready for some Tennessee basketball here tomorrow against a team that out of nowhere is one of the best teams in the country, and boy, a matchup challenge for this Tennessee basketball team, Rick Barnes, closed the chapter on the Memphis situation yesterday, speaking on it for the first time in a press conference setting, being you were there. Man, I thought Rick Barnes handled it very, very, very well, and was very transparent in a lot of things. What is your overall thoughts? You know what? Hold on, man. Hold on. Where was all the love and support last night when I needed it? Huh? Where was all the love and support from my so-called friends when I needed it the most? Did y'all see Monday Night Football last night? Did y'all? That offense? Y'all. The Bears? They're off. It's like watching two teams play. Their offense, they don't have a pulse. They look like they don't want to play. Defense is flying around. No support, no text messages, no DMs. Hey man, hope you're all right. I was going through it yesterday.
Yeah,
anyways,
I don't care. This is payback for you rooting against the Steelers. I wanted the Bears to win so you could be happy, but I don't feel bad for you.
When did I root against the Steelers?
Every week, because you root for my unhappiness.
Oh boy. How long are you gonna continue this fake stuff?
Until you prove otherwise. Until you show that you don't feel that way, I'm going to continue on this road.
How many times have I told you I like Mike Tomlin? I like the Steelers.
Actions are more important than words.
Are you with me when the Steelers are playing?
I
are
hear
you
your
in
comments.
are you in my brain? Are you in my head?
I see your tweets. I see everything.
Go look at the last time I tweeted about the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you making this stuff from?
It's because you learned. You don't want to catch these hands, so you thought to yourself, "Oh, I better stop. Ben's gonna put his hands on me if I don't."
I don't know how long you're gonna keep this fake stuff up. I like my Tomlin.
Just like you root against my Grizzlies.
I don't root against your Grizzlies.
You did in the playoffs last year.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I said Steph Curry and the Warriors would win. I didn't root against your Grizzlies. I just felt like they would win.
You find happiness when my Yankees lose?
Not really. I like messing with you when they do lose, but I don't root against your teams.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you'll stop promoting this fake, narrative.
When your actions change, I will quit promoting this narrative, correct narrative.
When your team loses in an embarrassing fashion, I'm going to laugh, but that doesn't mean I root against your team. Those are two different things.
It's all in the same.
To you.
Falls under the same umbrella.
Must be that message board's life. Message board logic. Your take on Rick Barnes' comments, I thought he handled the whole situation as good as you can, considering the circumstances.
Yes, I agree. But to add a thought on the Bears, they need to clean house. It's just not an offensive issue. That is the main issue. But Nagy needs to go.
Yep.
Ryan Pace, the GM, needs to go.
Yep.
Who's the other guy? It's Louis Riddick. Was it Brian Greasy? He was going scorched earth on the guys even above them, with the CEO and the president saying that they need to look in the mirror and that Bears fans deserve better.
Yep.
And they do, because Chicago is a great sports town. So that entire Bears organization needs a flip. Needs to be flipped on its head. That roster is terrible.
You look at the Rams and what they did with their roster and the aggressive moves that they have made over the last couple of years, and look where they are. And then you look at what the Bears have done with their aggressive moves, going out and getting Khalil Mack, trading up to get Justin Fields, and look at the Bears roster. Look at the Bears roster. And look at the Rams roster. Aggressive moves made by both GMs, but the Bears roster is constructed poorly. The offensive line is terrible. You don't have playmakers on the outside that you need. Demir Bird. I'm going to the phones.
Go ahead.
Who we got?
I mean, if you want to start with a a bum this morning, go right ahead.
Is this See, I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna guess.
It's Daytona.
Daytona. What? You and Ben got to patch it up, man. You both Yinzers. What have you done to Ben?
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
I am wonderful, man. I am wonderful.
I just wanted to call and offer support, if I could offer support.
Thank you.
Tell you that I wish that your team didn't let you down the way that Ben lets you down every day.
Oh, man, thank you.
And just so that you know, there's people out there that aren't fake, truly care about you. Do not instigate. Do not instigate. You know, that's like pouring salt into an open wound.
It really is.
And really, you honestly can't say there's two Yinzers against each other, because I'm the true Yinzer. I'm the one that was born there. Being a Steeler fan is imprinted in my birth certificate. And
just like being a Georgia fan?
So I'm sorry that you're there by yourself today. And, you know, I'm sorry that you have nobody there to pat you on the back and tell you it will be okay.
Hey, man, it's okay, man. When the Steelers were struggling, I didn't necessarily pat Ben on the back either, so I don't expect him to do that, and it's all good. But man, my Bears, they are terrible. The Detroit Lions have more of a pulse right now than the Chicago Bears, which makes the two losses to the Bears even more funny for the Detroit Lions. But yeah, the way I feel, which is dead inside, watching the Bears play, is the same way I felt watching Tennessee play last year under Jeremy Pruitt.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Mr. Swain. You could also, you know, you can have another favorite team, like Ben has 9,000 of them, and you can be a Steelers
Name
fan
them.
as well.
Name them.
So, Mr. Swain, you have a good day.
You're a coward, Daytona.
My friend. Thank you, man.
And tell Ben to quit being a dang baby.
Appreciate the phone call, Daytona. Your thoughts on Rick Barnes' comments?
Rick Barnes was spot on, and to give context to his comments, Rick Barnes went scorched earth yesterday morning talking about the Memphis debacle from over the weekend. He met with the media, and right off the jump was obviously asked about Memphis and about the possibility of the game being rescheduled. He said that we were there to play the game, but SEC play is way too important to us. We're not going to risk playing somebody as unvaccinated as they are, Memphis or anybody. Also said that he has not received an explanation from Memphis. Said, I don't know anything that happened from their point of view. I just know 15 of our 17 guys are vaccinated. All of our rotation guys are because they want to play. And the two that are not vaccinated, one is a walk-on and one is not in the rotation. One is redshirting. The one not in the rotation is redshirting. And it doesn't take rocket science to figure out why the one player on scholarship who has not been vaccinated, why he has not been vaccinated. Don't take rocket science to figure that one out. He also said that we're going to play games because we know in the SEC you either play or you're going to forfeit. In that situation, if we only had 7 guys, we would have found somebody from the student body if we had to. He reemphasized not playing Memphis on the way out the door. That's over. It's done. We don't have time for that game within our schedule. We were there ready to play. We're worried about the SEC and going to Texas. I think Rick Barnes was spot on, Swain.
Yep.
From every angle in which he came at it. And the whole vaccinated, Memphis being vaccinated, unvaccinated, it doesn't have anything to do with whether you believe they should be vaccinated or not. That is a separate conversation. So please do not bring that into this conversation. Rick's point about not playing Memphis or anybody that is unvaccinated as Memphis does not have anything to do with your political belief on whether to be vaccinated or not. It has everything to do with the fact that Tennessee's not going to exert as much energy into a game, as it did Memphis over the weekend, spend $30,000 of its budget, which Rick Barnes pointed out to the media yesterday. He's not going to spend all this time preparing for a game, dealing with the drama, the budget to play somebody that's unvaccinated and have it potentially called off at the last minute. Like, you're putting too much time and resources into a game that could be called off if somebody is not, if somebody's team is not vaccinated, and it's just not worth it. And like, teams know the rules, but until the NCAA updates its rules in terms of guys being able to play based on COVID, the NFL updated its policy to where it's not going to test asymptomatic players anymore. It's if you have some symptoms and you're feeling bad, then you go get tested. Like, until the NCAA does that, if you are around somebody that tests positive, you're going into contact tracing. It's as simple as that. So if somebody's team is unvaccinated, as Memphis is, and they get just simply 2 positive tests, and then that eliminates the rest of the team, like, Rick doesn't want to deal with that whole drama, and I do not blame him one bit.
Nope. Like I mentioned yesterday, the SEC slate is brutal. And basketball is just, we're coming up on how it is in baseball and football. Like, basketball in conference play is going to be brutal this year. Teams are better. Alabama is better. Auburn is better. Texas A&M is improving. And we knew that was going to be the case once Buzz took over there. Buzz Williams took over, came from Virginia Tech. We knew that A&M was going to be a better program. Ole Miss is a good program. LSU, we know what LSU is doing. I mean, it is tough in the SEC in basketball. Now, it's not as tough as football and baseball, but it's improving each and every year. And if you are Rick Barnes, you understand what it takes to get to the tournament. You've done this multiple times, many times, during your time at Texas and here at Tennessee. There's a formula. There's a formula that Rick Barnes has basically mastered to make sure the resume is good enough to get to the NCAA tournament. Now, what he does in the NCAA tournament, you want to have that conversation, and he needs to do more, that's fine. That's a different conversation. But there's a formula, and that is scheduling hard preseason games, non-conference games at the beginning of the season before you get to conference play. And conference play is always more important than anything else. Memphis had an opportunity. It didn't work out. It's time to move on. I mean, dude, go have someone schedule a meeting with you, Ben. Now you live south now. Imagine if someone's like, "Hey, Ben, man, I want to meet with you in Halls. Let's meet at 2 p.m. in Halls." And you at the house, you drive all the way to the meeting, and then the person like no-shows. Ooh, you know how mad you'll be?
I would not be too happy.
Like, that's just from South Knoxville to North Knoxville. Like, because that's a waste of your time. There's one thing that kind of grinds my gears, man. Wasting my time, wasting my money. And all Memphis did was do both. $30,000 it took to travel to Nashville. Is that a lot of money on Tennessee Athletics? No, but still, that $30,000 can go somewhere else. And Rick feels worse for the fans. Because the players, I mean, they'll be all right. Still going to play ball, scrimmage against each other. There's another game. There's another game tomorrow for Tennessee. And, 8 days rest. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. We'll see tomorrow. But, like, for the fans, there is another neutral site game that you can just go to, no problem. You don't just go get that time back, that money back that you spent to travel, only for the game to be canceled. So the players will be all right. But I did think that Rick was spot on in his comments, and it is time to move on. And glad Rick addressed it head on. And do I feel like this game should be played in the future?
This particular game being rescheduled, or
no,
just the series?
Just
moving
the series,
forward?
the series, because I saw Memphis media member try to make it seem like that Rick was small and petty by ending the series. And, our phone call yesterday, Big Orange Mac, talked about how important this series is. It's like the basketball version of the Iron Bowl. And this series it's bigger than Rick Barnes, it's bigger than Penny, because this series was strong when Bruce Pearl and John Calipari was there. This series is bigger than the coaches. It really is. And I think about when Pat Summitt stopped the UConn Tennessee series. And that was over some scandalous stuff that Gino did in recruiting. And then you ask yourself, okay, well, is that series bigger than the two coaches? Is it bigger than that the reason why Pat Summitt canceled the game? Because she was obviously upset about how Maya Moore was recruited and the things that Gino had said about Tennessee. Like, no matter what happens between the two coaches, should this series be played for the fans? And part of me is like, yeah, I'm with Big Orange Mac. I get it. Yeah, like this, it'd be cool to have this series continue, no matter who the coach is, no matter what happens. But I totally understand where Rick Barnes is coming from. You ain't got time for drama.
Every time you have dealt with Penny Hardaway, there has been drama.
Yeah, you don't got time for drama.
Every single time you deal with Penny Hardaway, there is drama.
Yeah, and it's not worth it.
It's middle school drama. I mean, it is. I've never seen a head coach at this level really conduct himself in the manner that Penny has, and to where it's always something with Penny. It's always something. Even when it doesn't involve Tennessee, there's always some type of drama going on, all the time since he's gotten there.
Lane Kiffin in 2009 is like the closest thing I can remember to how a coach has conducted himself similar to Penny. In the beginning, I was like, oh man, he's just saying that to kind of get some attention to this program, just like Lane Kiffin. And now I'm just like, dude,
shut up and sit down.
What is the point of continuing to lie about these little things like
this?
Yes,
so I do agree with Rick, and I understand where Rick is coming from in terms of not wanting to deal with that anymore. But I do think that this game should continue to be played every single year, regardless of who the coach is. It should be played 100 years from now, 50 years from now, 200 years from now. I mean, this is a basketball game that should be played every single year in the non-conference, and it should be home and home. I know Rick thinks playing in Nashville is important, and it is. Not saying that it isn't, but this should be a home and home. Tennessee goes to Memphis one year, Memphis comes to Tennessee the next, and rotate. It should happen every single year. It is that good of a rivalry game, and it's good for Tennessee basketball. It's good for Memphis basketball. It's good for the state of Tennessee. It's good for college basketball. This game should be played every single year, but I also do understand why Rick does not want to deal with Penny, because it is nothing but drama for the entire public to see, nothing but drama behind the scenes. I understand where Rick is coming from. If I was Rick, I would not want to deal with Penny either. And I think it's funny that on the Memphis side of things, they're blaming Rick for all of this, yet on the other hand, or on the other side of their mouth, they're talking about how there's nothing but drama with Penny all the time, and it's always something. How can you sit there and criticize your coach for never handling things the correct way, whether it be the Tennessee-Memphis series over the last 3 years, whether it be the James Wiseman situation, whether he is approaching post-game press conferences the correct way after the game, and whether he should be blaming his players in the manner that he does. the fact that he has underachieved. Like, it's been nothing but drama, and Memphis fans are quick to point all that out, but then on the other side of their mouth, they want to blame Rick Barnes for the series not continuing when they just got done explaining why Penny is so hard to deal with. It can't be both.
Can't be both. Cannot be both.
So, and I thought you could read between the lines of Rick yesterday. I feel this is purely my opinion. Purely my opinion, and trying to read between the lines. Go back and listen to the third question, the third answer Rick Barnes gave in that press conference yesterday. I'll give you some of the quotes, but go listen and watch Rick Barnes while he is discussing and giving the answer to the third question asked about him. And he kind of went away from the question, which also speaks to my point, I believe. He was asked if he feels good about where they are with vaccination numbers and safeguarding against an outbreak. And he talked about 15 our 15 are vaccinated. We have a walk-on not vaccinated, and we have one scholarship that is being redshirted, not vaccinated. With that said, we're going to play. We know in the SEC you either play or you forfeit. I can tell you this, and this is where I read between the lines, and you can tell where Rick is really frustrated and thinks that Memphis could have played on Saturday, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I can only tell you this. If we only would have had 4 guys that were able to play in that situation, if we've got 7 guys, we would get somebody out of the student body if we had to. I think it's the right thing to do for fans. I think it's the right thing to do. And people say, what about the game itself? I believe enough in the NCAA tournament, the committee, where if you're on that list, you're there. They're going to look back. They're going to do their research. They're going to know what went into that game. Just like I said the other day, I have a great respect for what Rob Lanier did a couple of weeks ago, taking his Georgia State team to play Rhode Island, a game he easily could have canceled. But I think it just showed the kind of leadership that he had, leadership the school wanted from him, that he took his team up there with 1 starter and 3 rotational players and played a game. I would tell you there's no doubt in my mind that Danny White would expect us to do the right thing. He would expect us to not only think about ourselves, but think about everybody involved and do the right thing. With that said, I can only speak from our point of view. Everybody else has to do what they feel they need to do. So in my opinion, if Rick feels like Memphis still could have played, by pointing out the leadership angle from Danny White, by pointing out the Rob Lanier situation, Rob Lanier example, and by pointing out that if they only had a couple of players available, they would have gone and gotten some members from the student body to play if they needed to.
And he brought up the NCAA tournament, which seems like he's talking to the committee about, hey, when you're looking at Memphis and they're on the bubble, think about this game they forfeited or canceled and get somebody else in.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, coaches are like psychology experts when it comes to.
They know how to say something without saying it. Read between those lines. You could tell how Rick feels about the game being canceled on Saturday and the lack of communication on Saturday from Memphis. Now, Memphis didn't alert Tennessee an hour before the game. Rick has said on numerous occasions that they got a call at 9:30 that morning saying that there could be a possible COVID situation with Memphis. So, I know that's only an hour difference, but I do think the early tip had something to do with the fact that they got a call just 2.5 hours before the game. If it was later in the day, I would imagine they would have gotten the same phone call about a potential COVID situation, but really, even since then, there's been absolutely zero communication from Memphis about what happened. And I think that if you go back and you look at Rick's body language, you hear his tone, you look at all the examples that he gave about still should being able to play the game, you can tell that Rick feels a certain type of way about Memphis canceling that game on Saturday.
Well, Rick is right. You know, you got the number 1 net ranking team coming in here on tomorrow, December 22nd, in Arizona. And Arizona right now is 6th, undefeated, 11-0 between these two teams. 19-2. Tennessee with 2 losses on the season. And for Arizona, guys, this Arizona team is They're pretty good now. They've already beaten Michigan, a top 4 team at the time, by 18 points. They beat, and this is not a big deal, but they did beat Oregon State.
They beat Illinois on the road.
They beat Illinois on the road, but they beat Oregon State. And I was sitting there looking at Oregon State and what they have done, this year. This was a team last year that looked amazing in the tournament.
Do I want to know what they've done this year?
Bro.
I don't want to know.
They're 1-10. Like, Oregon State is Vanderbilt of Pac-12 basketball right now.
Vanderbilt would beat them.
They are terrible. Arizona beat them 90-65. 90-65. They are on a 10-game losing streak. Oregon State. Which makes that game last year, right? Anyways, but this is going to be a great basketball game. This is going to be an enormous test for Tennessee. You play some neutral site games against some good opponents. This is the first home game where you're hosting a top 10 team, a team that has entered the national championship future odds. Like, they've entered that conversation because they're undefeated right now, and their coach is the former assistant coach under Mark Few at Gonzaga. It looks like he's bringing a lot of that Gonzaga magic over there to Arizona, and they're playing at a very, very, very high level in Tommy Lloyd. So it's going to be a good one tomorrow, and then you play Alabama right after that. So these next 2 games, we'll know a lot about this Tennessee basketball team. Swain Event, be right back.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
Hi there, Swain Event family. Are you in the market to purchase a home and a bit freaked out with the market right now? As someone who's been in your spot before, I'm familiar with what's going through your brain. And as a realtor, I've mastered the ins and outs of the buying process. When you work with me, you'll benefit from my experience, and together we'll work toward making sound, smart decisions for your future. And of course, talk a little Vol Sports along the way. Just give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you soon.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help. Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do, though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself, but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
It's time for around the SEC Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Man, Dead End Barbecue sure sound good today, Ben. Sounds good today. Nice cold afternoon is going to be. Sounds like a good idea to have a Swain Event business meeting at Dead End Barbecue. It's time for Around the SEC, Ben. What do you have for us today?
Going up to Lexington to start things off, where Will Levis has indicated that he will return to school.
Where was he going?
He recently said he was leaning towards coming back, but that he was going to gather NFL feedback.
For what?
I don't know. But
NFL feedback for what? There's like an intern program at the NFL?
Apparently. It got Kentucky fans all excited last night, as if he was actually going to leave and go somewhere. But what do I know? Liam Cohen, the Kentucky offensive coordinator, said that Josh Ali and Isaiah Epps, 2 senior receivers for Kentucky, they will not be available in the Citrus Bowl because both players were involved in a car accident recently. Everything is fine, but they just can't play in the bowl game. So at least they're okay.
Yeah, sure.
Overall, Marcus Banks, a Alabama corner who is in the transfer portal, he announced last night that he is transferring to Mississippi State. So Marcus Banks, an Alabama corner, headed to Mississippi State. You had Jalen Weidemeyer, the stud tight end at Texas A&M. He announced that he is entering the NFL draft.
Go get your money.
A&M is losing out on a big-time tight end. And the only other thing I've got for you is a college basketball note in general, and that is the NC State punishment came back from the NCAA yesterday, dating like 7-8 years ago from when Dennis Smith Jr. was at NC State.
What?
And he's been in the league for a minute now. They finally received their punishment. Yes. Who has a 1-year show cause now. NC State gets no postseason ban, but a 1-year show cause for Mark Gottfried and 6-year show cause for former assistant Orlando Early. So, been a couple of NCAA punishments coming back.
Dude, like Mark Gottfried is like currently coaching, or was currently coaching, according to the Wikipedia. After NC State, he went to Cal State Northridge. So he got to step down, or is Wikipedia wrong, or like what's going on there? I mean, that's kind of weird. I mean, you go Google his name and it says he is coaching at Cal State Northridge. So I remember when he was at Alabama, and he's on leave. He was on leave early in the year. But I remember when he was at Alabama, and I was in high school, and like I didn't even put 2 and 2 together when like he was at our high school at like an open gym or practice or something like that. I didn't put 2 and 2 together, and like later I was like, oh, dude, that was a Bama coach. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. We also had like Mike Davis, who was the Indiana basketball coach, the brother. Show up at our high school, a little basketball. It was pretty cool, but that's what I remember of Mark Gottfried. He had some talented teams at Alabama. Just feel like he kind of underachieved, and he got caught up. But 8 years ago, punishment coming down from 8 years ago now. Wow. But if you're a quarterback and you want to transfer and you want to get that waiver, they will expedite that decision really quick if you have a lawyer. So just weird. What else you got? That's it?
That's it. Nothing too crazy.
Tennessee, Arizona. I don't have the best feeling about this game.
Yeah, I don't have the best feeling about the next 2 games. I just, simply put, I don't trust the offense against good basketball teams. They have not played well against Power 5 good basketball teams. Colorado's the only one that they've really played well against. I know they beat North Carolina down, but North Carolina's not very good. Colorado is the only team that I would be willing to say is a legitimately good team that Tennessee is beating. Colorado now 9-3 on the season, and even, I mean, I don't really feel comfortable saying what I just said because you look at the schedule, and since the Tennessee game, like, yeah, they're 9-3. They picked up 3 wins since, but it was a 60-57 win over Eastern Washington, a 65-54 win over Milwaukee, and a 60-46 win over CSU Bakersfield. So Colorado looks a little inflated because of their schedule.
They still be. I think they're like 1 or 2 in the Pac-12 right now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, take that with a grain of salt. The Pac-12, they haven't necessarily been blown it out of the water in the whole football, basketball world.
And it seems like they're going to be down this year outside of UCLA. Oregon's kind of gotten off to a tough start. Stanford isn't a world beater. They do have Arizona.
They got Arizona now.
Obviously. But, I mean, what bona fide good basketball team has Tennessee beaten this year? Like, I think ETSU and UNC Greensboro are good basketball teams, but they're good basketball teams by their standards. So that's really why I don't feel good about this game. Is simply put, Tennessee hasn't looked good against good teams this year.
Not yet. Not yet, man. Remember last year when we were talking about how Tennessee was constructed defensively and how had a bunch of players that were long and athletic, and we had the rim protector and Eve Pons. Wasn't necessarily tall, but we were athletic, and man, our defense was one of the best in the country. Now, defense this year is no different. I mean, right now, our Ken Palm defensive ranking is number 2 in the entire country.
And that helps with the USC upstate performance, holding them to, 36 points?
The lowest in history, school history.
Thompson, I think it was a Thompson bowling record. I don't know if it's school history, but either or. I mean, splitting hairs.
Arizona, their Ken Palm, offensive ranking is 14, and they have hit 100 points 3 times so far. They've hit 97, they've hit 90, 94. I mean, they are averaging 91 points per game. I look at our roster, and when we have our 2 point guards out there at the same time, and Kenny Chandler and Zakai Ziegler, we've seen this season how offensively we can be very productive. Now, the height at times gets into trouble because we don't finish around the basket the same way when those 2 guys are in there. This team this team that we're playing against in Arizona tomorrow, their shortest starting player is their guard. He is 6'3". I had the pronunciation guide, and you're going to need it for these dudes on this team.
Oh,
you're going to need it for this team, man.
You're going to need it. You got it.
You're going to need it.
You got it.
All right, hold on. I got you.
You got it.
Kerr, Creesaw.
Steve Kerr?
No, not Steve Kerr. His first name is Kerr. Creesaw. And he is, I'm assuming he's their point guard, but he's 6'3". The other dudes at the starting lineup, you got.
They have a Benedict?
Yeah. 6'6", 6'7", 6'11", and 7'1". Remember that Texas Tech game? Well, we didn't really get an offensive rebound. And that was a big problem. It was one shot. He was missing them, too. It's one thing to not get offensive rebounds. It's another thing when you miss most of your shots and you shoot 20-something% from the field. That's what scares me is our ability to get on the boards. I don't know if we're going to be able to out-rebound Arizona or come close to out-rebounding Arizona, and that's going to be a problem. Defensively, I think we will claw, scratch, hold our own. But on the boards, I'm not too confident. And I think that if you're Rick Barnes, you're going to have to play 2 big men at once. And the big man that's going to be playing more? You gonna have to play Uros, man.
No, you can't.
You gotta
you can't.
You gotta play Uros, man. You got to. You don't have a choice.
You do have a choice because it's not your best.
These dudes are huge, man.
I understand that. In theory, yes, you would like to have more size out there and 2 big men out there. But Tennessee is literally better off going small ball against a tall team than having Urosh on the floor. I would rather go small against a big team than have Urosh on the floor.
Hey, I want to see us go small ball against this team and see, if it forces Arizona to go small, or do they take advantage of that and make us have to go big? That's going to be a very.
I don't want to see no daggum Urosh.
Hey man, you got 2 7-footers in at the same time.
I don't care. Put Brandon Huntley-Hatfield and Folky in at the same time.
You might see that.
Put Jonas Adu in before you put Urosh in. I saw Jonas make a couple plays in practice that made me think, he can't be worse than Urosh in the game.
My point is, you have to play bigger in this game.
Put Brock Jancic in.
How tall is Brock Jancic? Like 6'6"?
Not very tall. Put him in. There's a student manager for Tennessee that is very tall. He guards Folky in practice because he's very tall. Put him in. You want to talk about going to the student body? Put him in before you put Urosh in. I'm tired of Urosh. He doesn't do anything. He's TFN. He's tall for nothing. For nothing.
He's going to be out there.
He don't grab no rebounds.
He's going to be out there, man. You better wait.
It's
happening.
Brandon Huntley-Hatfield was the first post player off the bench in the last game against USC Upstate.
Well, he might.
I think you'll continue to see that.
Hey, I want to see that. But I also know that these dudes are tall, and you're going to have some guys maybe get some early fouls, and you're going to need to keep guys fresh. So it's not like you're necessarily super deep in the post. So I just feel like Uro's going to be playing. Now, someone that has not seen minutes hit the 20s outside of Upstate, that's Olivier Camois. His minutes have went down after the Tennessee Tech game. He only had 13 minutes against Colorado, only 13 minutes against Texas Tech. I think his minutes will go up in this basketball game. I think he's going to hit over 20 minutes. Now, what he does in that time is very, very important. This is a matchup that is not something that I would pick for Tennessee to be a part of. But this is the great test, and it's going to be very important to make three-pointers, to make shots, make three-pointers. Now, the benefit is, hey, long shots equal long rebounds, and sometimes a shorter team can get some of those rebounds. Now, rebounds that fall in the paint, close to the block, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get those with the 7-footers in there. So maybe the long rebounds are something that can work in our favor. But man, this is going to be a tough test. There's just no way to put it.
A good way to put it. It is going to be a tough test. I'm interested to see how Tennessee responds after you got embarrassed by Villanova. You came back less than 24 hours and looked good against North Carolina. And I don't think North Carolina is very good, but you still beat them down, which was good to see. And you were embarrassed against Texas Tech at Madison Square Garden, and you came back the next game and you made shots. I don't care if it was against whoever it was, UNC Greensboro. Like, you still came back and you made shots. And
were we embarrassed against Texas Tech? Were we embarrassed against Tech?
They better be.
I mean,
with their shooting performance.
So you mean like personally embarrassed,
yes,
or not like embarrassed by like getting beat down a lot? You mean like you should be embarrassed by?
You should be embarrassed by the way you shot the basketball.
Gotcha. I agree.
Because that was pitiful.
Yeah.
That was pitiful. And they came back the next two games and made shots. So, and I know it was UNC Greensboro, and USC Upstate, but you still beat them the way that you should. So my point in bringing up those two losses is that it seems like they've learned something from each of their two losses, and Rick pointed that out. Rick thinks that the team got better from the losses. So this really your first true test since the Texas Tech game. Hopefully they have really learned from the Texas Tech game, and the UNC Greensboro and USC Upstate just wasn't a fluke.
We did forget something off for around the SEC. I had it in my notes. Chip Payne reminded us on the text box, and that is that Georgia staffer resigned. There was a investigation into some harassment allegations. Josh Lee stepped down as the Georgia's director of football operations. It was a investigation going on into the Equal Opportunity Office into allegations of sexual harassment, according to Chip Towers of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It says that the staffer first worked at Georgia in 2005, 2006. He spent 5 years at UAB and briefly left sports administration before returning to Georgia in 2014. And he made $208,000 in 2020. Goodness gracious. Lee is alleged to have sent inappropriate text message to at least one of his direct reports over a time. The AJC article notes that this was brought to attention of the athletic director, Josh Brooks, in October, and then was immediately turned over to the EOO, which again stands for Equal Opportunity Office. He continued to work on scouting trips to the college football playoff sites as recently as last week. So looks like he was sending some inappropriate text messages. Maybe he was on his Brett Favre. Who knows? But he has stepped down. Remember, things that happen in Georgia, it ain't really talked about.
Must be nice.
It ain't really talked about unless it's brought up by folks outside of Georgia. They ain't really talked about. I remember when the recruiting folks, a couple people stepped down out of nowhere, and it was briefly touched on. So I like this place, man. This place during a football game will report that Tennessee is going through a freaking investigation. I know. 865-255-03.
Why? Why my school? Why did my school have to deal with all the BS?
It's been quiet, though. It's been quiet for a while.
Ever since that coaching staff left.
Yeah, it's been quiet. But, our media, boy, we
got that coaching staff out of there. And, boy, it sure did get quiet real quick.
It's quiet. No, it's quiet.
Now, granted, Josh Heupel's coaching staff doesn't really do anything to create drama. But that old coaching staff, it left town, and all of a sudden, it got quiet.
And the administration has done a good job, too, so it's been quiet. It's been really quiet. Zell says the more Uros plays, the better he's going to get. Ben, he is a gamer.
No, just no.
John K says, Swain, we have a 7-footer, though. We do have a 7-footer. They have a 7-footer. We have one. Just get yourself ready to see Tennessee play their big lineup. 2 big post guys. I don't see us doing a lot of 4 out, 1 in. Now, if we do it and it works, and it forces Arizona to have to match that because we're making shots on the outside and spreading the court and going Golden State Warriors style, then okay, we'll see. But I don't anticipate us being able to do that and getting Arizona out of what they do with their lineup. I hope so, but I think that's going to require us to make shots. Josiah Jordan James has to have his best game of the season. He has to. There's no other way around it.
Well, you want to talk about post play and size? John Fulkerson needs to have his best game of the year.
It's time for John Fulkerson to play like an all-SEC player. It's time. Hour 2 coming up. Be right back. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or online at ofonox.com, or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Good morning, Swain Event family. Several of you, like Ben McKee, have reached out to me for real estate assistance this year, and I want to say thank you. I appreciate your trust in me to ask questions and help you navigate the real estate world.
That's right, Jennifer. Buying a home is a scary process, especially for a first-time home buyer. Jennifer recently helped my wife and I buy our first home and made the entire process seamless. Her willingness to go above and beyond is what sets her apart.
As always, feel free to give me a call. Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com.
TennesseeRegenerative.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Going to the NFL for today's touchdown or turnover. That is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Better rates and better service. ATFCU.com. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Looking at the NFL and the MVP race right according to some of the betting sites out there, Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay is the new favorite to win the MVP.
Your daddy.
The Bears' daddy. I don't have a dad. Rodgers is a new favorite at plus 125, while Brady has dropped to second in their odds at plus 175. Indianapolis running back Jonathan Taylor, Kansas City quarterback Patrick Mahomes, and Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford are all tied for third at plus 1,000. Touchdown turnover. Jonathan Taylor, running back for the Colts, should be at least at number 2 right now in the MVP race in the NFL. Touchdown, turnover.
Touchdown. Absolutely. He is one of the 2 most valuable players in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers would win the MVP right now. If I had a vote, I would vote for him.
Just off that throw last week.
Yeah.
A couple days ago.
Yes, but I mean, he's been terrific this year. 30 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, 3,500 yards. I mean, he's been tremendous. I hate that he can be such a prick sometimes because he is such a fun football player to watch and just has so much talent. So I do think Aaron Rodgers should be the MVP right now and probably will be the MVP. But Jonathan Taylor should be number 2. I agree with you. I think he is just so important to the Colts. He's having a phenomenal season, and I say touchdown. He should be number 2. He's just been amazing. Hopefully he gets his credit and gets his flowers because he deserves it.
The NFL MVP race, man, is making me feel like the Heisman in college. I think it loses credibility in these things. To have Matthew Stafford seriously considered as a MVP is, I think, disrespectful. This is all about quarterbacks. That's what it's all about. This is proof. Matthew Stafford? Plus 1,000? No. What Jonathan Taylor has done this year has been remarkable. Simply remarkable. I mean, he had 170 last week. Ran all over the Patriots. It would have been great to see Derrick Henry healthy because he was on MVP pace. And right now he's still like in top 5 in rushing. He hasn't played since like week 8. It's amazing the ground that Derrick Henry had on everyone else before getting hurt. But for me, it's touchdown, man. It's touchdown. It is touchdown. The Colts, I'm telling you, man, the Colts will be a scary team in the playoffs. They're playing hot at the right time. You do not want to play the Colts right now. But, yeah, Jonathan Taylor had 170 against the Patriots, had a longer 67, had 143 against the Texans, had 83 against the Bucks, 185 against Buffalo, 172 against the Jets, 145 against Houston again. I mean, he's at 17 touchdowns rushing, 2 touchdowns receiving. I mean, he has to be at least number 2. Aaron Rodgers, number 1. Jonathan Taylor, number 2. And then number 3, I'd probably go Tom Brady. I thought Tom Brady was the favorite before this week, but they didn't score a point. So that dropped him, I think, for me, number 3. But the NFL MVP voting, man, is starting to remind me of the Heisman.
Yes,
it's all about the quarterbacks.
If Derrick Henry hasn't won an MVP by now, then no running back is going to.
Yep, I'm with you.
Like, Derrick Henry should have at least one MVP, if not more.
I'm with you.
But because he plays running back and not quarterback, he hasn't. And Jonathan Taylor falls under that category, unfortunately. A side question: did Brett Favre win a Super Bowl?
Yes.
How many?
1.
Just 1. So
1. That was the year. Was it 1 or 2? That was the year when Desmond Howard returned that kickoff or a punt for a touchdown. I know he won 1.
Won 1, lost 1. Do you know the Roman numeral for XXXI?
Was that 31?
Sure.
I think that's 31.
Super Bowl champion in 1997. It's not telling me which Super Bowl it was.
Yeah, he won 1. Aaron Rodgers has just won 1.
Yes, over my Steelers.
Yeah,
but this is where I'm going with it. 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. 2 Super Bowls to show for it. Should the Packers receive criticism for not having more than 2 Super Bowls?
Oh, for sure, man.
And I don't want to discredit 2 Super Bowls. And there are organizations that would give their pinky toe for 1 Super Bowl right now, but it feels like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers being 2 of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play, like they should have more than 2 Super Bowls.
Well, when you think about
the course of 20, 30 years now.
Yeah, when you think about some of the best quarterbacks ever, those guys have multiple championships. So Aaron Rodgers only having 1 right now. People have pointed to the Packers organization and said, "Man, y'all have failed Aaron Rodgers," which is why he won out before the season. So yeah, I mean, I would assume a guy like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers would have more than just 2 between them. But it also shows you how hard it is to win. Like, it's hard. Like, it's super, super hard to win a championship. But it's just crazy to me that Eli Manning has more than Brett Favre and more than Aaron Rodgers right now. But that's the way it falls sometimes. Let me hit the text box up. T-Money says, I know Arizona's good, but what is their best win? They have a new coach, and have they had true role game? Got to hit some threes in this one. Well, it's hard to really knock Arizona's resume, and I think when you are playing a team and that is good, that is ranked high, or they've had some success before they've played you, I think the number one thing that you do as a fan is you try to go and kind of knock what they have done and try to poke holes in their resume leading up to your game. And I tried to do the same thing, but a 18-point win over Michigan, and going on the road and beating Illinois, that's a very, very impressive win. So, yes, they have been on the road, and, yes, they've had quality wins. They've had more quality wins than we have had so far this season. So, they are legit at this point of the season. Now, can they maintain? Will they be a team that is a legitimate player in the NCAA tournament? They could be. They have the makings to be. It's all about playing hot at the right time. Obviously, right now they're really good. They're undefeated. They're playing hot right now, but can they maintain that? I don't know. But we're playing them tomorrow. And this team right now is capable of hanging 80, 90 points on you. They're averaging 91 points per game. So, T-Money, they have quality wins, and they have got one of those wins on the road.
The next 3 games are brutal. Brutal. The Tennessee tomorrow night. Then they go at UCLA next Thursday, and then at USC. UCLA is currently ranked 5th. USC is currently ranked 8th.
Yep.
So maybe we catch them looking ahead.
I hope.
At number 5 UCLA, at number 8 USC, back-to-back road games. They've got 3 road games in a row.
Yeah, let's
catch them looking ahead. Now I don't think that they will because these UCLA and USC game, it comes after Christmas. So I would imagine this is kind of like, okay, we got one more game before Christmas break, and then we'll reconvene. I doubt that they're thinking about that UCLA USC game a ton since it's after Christmas, and I imagine they'll have a day or two break in there.
I want to ask you this about this matchup, but I want to read Ken's message on the text box. It says, should Taylor get MVP consideration? Yes, if the NFL MVP voting was fair and honest. But in reality, no, since Derrick Henry didn't even get a top 3 finish last year, period. If he can't get a consideration, Taylor shouldn't either. I agree with you, Ken. I mean, the fact that Derrick Henry has not, won this award, that should have been like a co-winner. We saw that happen with the 2 quarterbacks, the time that Peyton Manning and Steve McNair split it. I think that was in 2004. The fact that Derrick Henry has not won one, or at least split one, is crazy to me. This is just a quarterback award. Just go ahead and say it. It's a quarterback award. Jennifer Moore says, I'm a little nervous about the Vols tomorrow night. They haven't played in a while, and I'm scared Arizona's going to come out swinging, and we won't be able to catch up. Do you think, this is a question I was going to ask you, Ben, do you think the layover, the rest, the time not playing, you think that's going to benefit Tennessee or be an issue for Tennessee tomorrow night?
I think it helps Tennessee. I think it's good to have a mental break every now and then. It will have been, I guess they played last Tuesday, so it'll be 8 days. I don't think that's a huge gap in between games, especially this time of year. I mean, November, December, there are weeks where you only play 1 game within a week. So this time of year, I don't think there's really any thought into it, at least from my perspective and in my opinion. Now, if it were SEC play and you go a week without playing, then I think that's a little different, because once you get into SEC play, you get into the rhythm of playing 2 games in a week. But I think this is good. Give them a mental break, reconfigure things. And there's some guys that are banged up. Josiah with his finger. Folky is still got his thumb patched up, and Lord knows what else he's dealing with. So you've had some guys banged up that you need and can hopefully get healthier for this next 2-game stretch, this little 2-game stretch right here between Arizona and Alabama. And I think it helps them.
Ramrod, give me a shout, man. He says he's going to be in Knoxville tomorrow, looking for a single ticket. Email me, man. Please go to the app, email me, because I just had someone reach out yesterday via Twitter, and they have a single ticket that they want to give you. Well, they're giving me the single ticket for me to give to someone that wants it and needs it. So I'll try to coordinate that, but email me. I just sent the message to the gentleman on Twitter that offered the single ticket up. So let's see if we can get you taken care of and get you set for the game.
What do you think of the break?
I don't think it helps us. I don't think it helps. I just think that I think playing is, the more you play, I think the better that you get as far as chemistry. you have a lot of new faces, new pieces on this team. You got Kenny Chandler, you got Zakai Ziegler, Justin Powell. You got the new post players. Like, you got a lot of new. And I think the more you play, the better. And I don't think the 8-day layoff is helpful.
Do you think there's anything to the fact that Arizona has played 2 games since Tennessee's last 2 games and now have to travel out to the East Coast? I mean, do you think Tennessee could have fresher legs?
They could. They could. I think we'll learn a lot in the first 5 minutes. Tennessee just always seems to be like the counter puncher in these games. They go in with their hands up and don't really swing. Like our last big matchup, I turned on TV and it's like, oh, of course we're down early. Like it feels like we find ourselves always down early and then having to claw and scratch back in the game. And there's no reason why that should be the case on tomorrow, because Thompson-Boling Arena is one of the best venues in college basketball. Top 5 in sales, top 5 in attendance, and there should be 21,000 folks, loud, rowdy, and there's going to be so much energy pumping through that arena where our team should not have a excuse for not starting fast. Like, you have the in-game DJ or the in-game hype man, your favorite band. You shouldn't even need him. You shouldn't even need him tomorrow. Come on, Vol Nation.
No, it's not him. It's not what he says. It's the fact that they have the mic turned up as loud as possible.
Come on, Vol Nation.
Just turn the mic down.
Get up.
Turn the mic down just
This
a notch.
side.
That's all I want for Christmas this
Orange.
week. That is all I want. And if we could get rid of that stupid chant, that'd be nice too. I mean, that's as much as the one that we do for football as well.
White, orange, white, orange, white, orange, white, orange, white, V.
So
corny. Who want T-shirts? Get up. You want T-shirts?
I like the VOLS one. I just the orange and the white. Like, what is this? High school?
Yeah. I like the in-game hype man. I
like
really do.
Him. I just want them to turn his mic down to where it doesn't blow out everybody's eardrum in the entire arena.
My point is, you shouldn't need him that much in this game.
No.
Now, if you want to give out some T-shirts, I'm all for that. But you shouldn't need someone to hype you up during this game, this matchup. This is a top 10 opponent coming in, and our team is capable of beating them, and they're capable of beating us by 20. And so, shouldn't need the in-game hype, man. I need to sit closer to the floor, man, so I can get some of those T-shirts.
You go ahead. Blow out your eardrum.
Orange. White. Michigan State player had 50.
Against who? Because they're playing
Florida,
in a gym.
is that Florida Gulf Coast? That's Florida Gulf Coast.
Looks like they're playing the Seattle Seahawks.
I think that's Florida Gulf Coast.
Florida Gulf Coast is actually really good.
The women's team. So Michigan State player had 50. She dropped 50.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive.
They're good.
Step back, jumpers. She was doing it all, man.
Saw Ray Burrell yesterday.
And still lost. They still lost.
In double overtime.
You saw Ray Burrell?
Mm-hmm. She didn't have a brace on.
When she's playing, man?
I don't know.
C-Mac is looking forward to watching her play. This is like his little crush.
That's cute, isn't it?
It is kind of cute. 865-255-03. Hour 2 will continue after this.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do, though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself, but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com. Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work from anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Hour number 2 is brought to you by Action 247, Tennessee's only legal sports book. TN Action on Twitter is where you can find them, and they're a great follow. If you love to bet, they are your go-to right here in the state of Tennessee. And the promotion for today at TN Action 247 on Twitter, the promotion for today, we have a couple games for Tuesday night football, and we're not mad about it. You can bet $50 on a single game parlay for the Rams versus Seahawks, and Action will give you a free $25 bet to use during the game. During the game. Bet $50 on a single game parlay, Rams Seahawks, get a free $25 bet to use during the game. Also, you can double your deposit by using the promo code Swain Event, and they will double your first deposit up to $800, folks. $800. They will double your deposit. Action 247. Again, use the promo code Swain Event.
Who you taking in the Seahawks game?
I got the Rams cover.
Seahawks are trash this year.
Yeah, I got the Rams to cover.
We'll talk about bad football teams. The Seahawks are a bad football team.
Yep. It's weird, man. 2 years ago the Bears were in the playoffs. I mean, last year the Bears were in the playoffs barely, didn't do anything, and now 4 and
It's okay,
8.
my team didn't either.
4 and 8, and Seahawks not too long ago was a team consistently being in the playoffs, and they're just garbage right now. I mean, just terrible. So I got the Rams covering because I feel like the new pieces and Von Miller, Odell Beckham Jr., Matthew Stafford did not turn the football over last week against the Cardinals. Cooper Kupp is unguardable.
He might be the best receiver in the league this year.
He's good.
This individual season.
He's
been as good as anybody, if not better than everybody.
Yeah, more catches and touchdowns. I mean, he's been fantastic. And then you got the emergence of Van Jefferson,
stud,
who's been great. And then you got Odell, who
bum.
Hey, he's been. It's amazing. He's been quiet. There's no drama because he plays for a team that's good.
Oh, just give it some time. This was the same thing we heard when he got to Cleveland. Oh, look how quiet Odell is now. Look at Odell. That what happened? Boom, it blew up. Just give it time. Odell will Odell.
Hey man, he was quiet the whole time until Daddy put out that
video.
That video. And hey man, that was smart. I would have done the same thing. Get your butt out of there. Make them release you. Now you can go to where you want to go, and look where he is now.
But there was drama stirring before that video surfaced from his dad. There were talks about Odell being frustrated with Baker.
He should have been.
I mean, I get it, but it's not like Odell has a great track record of being right in these situations.
Well, he was right in this one.
Like I said, give it some time, and it'll blow up in their face.
Yeah, we'll see.
Odell will Odell. A zebra does not change its stripes.
We'll see.
Odell is a very talented player. He has made some very fun catches in his career, but he really puts the diva in diva for receivers.
Oh yeah,
I know all receivers are divas, but he's like a top-notch diva.
Well, the Rams looks like they're getting settled in with their additions, and then you look at the Seahawks offensive line. They haven't blocked anybody in years. And you're going up against Aaron Donald coming off a 3-sack game. You got Leonard Floyd on the outside. You got Von Miller on the other side. Jalen Ramsey should be back. I mean, I just don't see how the Seahawks will score a lot of points, and I don't see how the Seahawks are going to stop the Rams from covering the 7-point spread. Now, I have it here on Action. I think it was a 6.5-point spread that I have on Action, but it might have been 7. I put all my bets in like late last night and like fell asleep. I'll pull it up right now and tell you.
And look, if you want to get in on the Titans action pretty early, you can go ahead and tighten up. The boys are back at Nissan Stadium to take on the 49ers on Thursday Night Football. And if you bet $100 on the spread, Swain, you get a free $50 bet automatically.
That's strong. That's strong right there.
What will Jawan have a big homecoming? Is he gonna?
He gonna try. You know that.
Is he gonna toy with the hearts of Vol fans?
You know he is going to try.
You know the Titans with the loss to Pittsburgh and the Colts beating the Patriots. It's lemon booty time.
It really is. So the spread for the Rams Seahawks game, the Rams -7. So I took the Rams to cover that. I took the Rams to cover. Tighten up.
49ers been playing some good football lately, too.
Heck yeah, man. They're one of the hottest teams in the league right now.
They got rid of Jalen Hurd and started playing Jawan Jennings, and they got better.
I ain't messing with you. You know Jawan Jennings will try to have his best game of his NFL career at home against the Tennessee Titans. You know he's going to try. It's going to be fun to watch him go out there and compete.
Will he score a touchdown? I say yes. There's no way he does not score a touchdown against the Titans in his hometown.
I think he will. I mean, in the red zone, he's a big target, and that's where he is. That's where he scored the touchdowns. He has not scored a touchdown outside the red zone that I've seen. So when the Niners get to the red zone, they're getting the ball to Deebo Samuel from the backfield, or they throwing it up to Juwan Jennings. I say yes. Check it in the text box. Let's see. Being a good coach involves coaching and managing a program. Penny can't do either. I love the Memphis-Tennessee game, but it is also good to take a break every now and then. Tennessee can't continue to deal with Penny. It is a no-win for Tennessee right now to continue things as long as he is there. I agree. Kevin says, Penny, Kiffin, same blank, different coach. Chip asks, do you think Tennessee-Memphis game is beneficial to Tennessee basketball? No. I do not think it's beneficial to Tennessee basketball. I just think it is beneficial to Tennessee and Memphis basketball fans. This is good for the fans. But playing Memphis is not beneficial to Tennessee because you don't need Memphis. You can recruit inside of Memphis without playing Memphis or beating Memphis. You don't have to anymore. Rick Barnes has an established track record of developing players. So you have to ask yourself, if you're a player from Memphis, do you want to play on an AAU team, or do you want to be developed to go to the NBA? If you want to play AAU, then you can go to Memphis. But if you want to be developed by someone that has a track record, then cool. But if you want to play for a coach that got cool shoes and is a legend, and you get caught up in that, then go for it. Different player will have different reasons. (865-255-03). DC Vol fan says, whenever offensive line depth is discussed, no one talks about William Parker Griffin. I thought when he signed, there were multiple people saying that he was a good get. Was he more of a project, or is he not progressing like those people who were excited about him thought he would?
I haven't heard one way or the other, quite frankly. I wouldn't freak out just yet. He's a freshman this year. His father passed away not too long ago as he was arriving to Tennessee, if I remember correctly. So I wouldn't freak out just yet. I have not heard one way or the other, but I can ask about that today and revisit it.
Yeah, I think it's early, man. I mean,
I was a big fan of his coming out of that signing class. I mean, I thought he's going to be. I haven't heard anything to believe that he's not going to contribute. Like there's a couple of reserve offensive linemen currently playing for Tennessee that you knew right off the bat were never going to play for Tennessee. And 3-4 years later, folks are still wondering why they're not playing. Like William Parker Griffin doesn't fall under that category. I still have high hopes for him. I mean, Nick Saban legitimately wanted him, and Tennessee was able to land him. So I haven't heard anything to the contrary that he's a bust or anything.
Man, he was a freshman, and there's plenty of time. Not every freshman's going to come in and be ready to play first year or maybe even the second year. So if he went to Alabama, he wouldn't have been playing right off anyways. And there's some of the best players that we've seen in Tennessee history. They didn't come in playing year one. So it's still young, still early for the young man. Still early. All right, let's see what else is here on the text box. Castro Fall says, he was a true freshman. Why is anyone concerned? Well, yeah, no reason to be concerned. No reason to be concerned.
I mean, think it's a fair question. I mean, he was one of the more talked about recruits in that class, and you haven't really heard much of anything, if anything, about him all year long. I mean, it's a fair question.
Yes, fair question. No reason not to ask the question. It's all definitely okay to ask the question, but there's also no reason to feel like that he's not going to be a contributor and to forget about him just because he didn't come in his first year and play or start. So I'm just used to, and I know times are a little bit different, but I'm just used to guys coming in and, you know, getting used to being a student athlete and, you know, getting used to the competition, because not every high school prepares a player coming in the same. Some guys need more time than others to physically acclimate, to mentally, emotionally get used to how everything is different. So there's still time. There's still time. All right, let's see what else is here on the text box. Vol Freak 04 says, Ben said the receivers are the divas in football. Is he calling Swain a diva? As a player, I was.
You were?
I was a wide receiver. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Wide receivers are divas. Now, Brett Smith was not a diva. I mean, he just went to work every single day. Didn't really talk much on the football field. Just, you know, he didn't call much of an issue. Wasn't too vocal, but I wasn't like a team splitter or anything like that as a diva. But yeah, I mean, skill position players tend to be divas, man. You got to make sure you get your towel in the right place. Your spat got to be looking good. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of part of it. It's kind of part of it. King Vol 300 says for what goes to LaVar Ball for calling out Jake Paul to a boxing match. Ben, I know you want to see that, don't you?
Yes.
You want to see LaVar Ball get them hands.
Yes. Tell me your NFL career is over without telling me your NFL career is over, Le'Veon. Go ahead, go make you some more trash music. Go ahead and go catch those hands from Jake Paul. I hope Jake Paul just plumb knocks him out the way he did this weekend. Le'Veon doesn't want those problems.
Le'Veon tweeted at Jake Paul, "Fight me. Stop trying to fight people who can't box." Le'Veon Bell just got released by the Ravens. You mean tell me he's been training to box the moment he stopped? And you need longer than that. Like Jake Paul has been fight. He's been training for a couple years now to be a real boxer. At first, it was just, we gonna box. We're just talking some trash, and he's internet star, YouTube star. But Jake Paul has gotten real serious about boxing, and he trains at it. He's actually pretty good at it when it comes to fighting guys like, Tyron Woodley and Nate Robinson. It's actually a mismatch. Like, Bell, you need at least a year to go train before you get into the ring with Jake Paul. So Le'Veon Bell's about to get himself hurt, to be honest. And that's the thing that's no one's talking about these celebrity boxing matches is boxing is a dangerous sport. Like there's people that have died in the ring. Professionals, guys who have trained for years and years and years, that have went into the ring, got hit, got beat up, and died. Like, this is not some fraternity boxing match where you put on some huge gloves and you're trying to avoid not having a fist fight, so you put on some boxing gloves and you just have a good time. You can get your head knocked off. Like, this is not a game. And guys like Frank Gore and Deron Williams and Le'Veon Bell just going to hop into the ring and just think you're just going to, just box for a check. This is a dangerous, dangerous sport. So I hope these guys understand how serious this is. I know real boxers, guys that have put their heart into boxing, kind of look at these, celebrity boxing matches going, man, these dudes have no idea. No idea. But yeah, go ahead, Le'Veon Bell. Get out there and be the next person. Gets laid out.
Go ahead, little boy.
Vaughn Birmingham says, I want that Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. Jake has been pushing for. And that is a fight I might pay some money to see. That is a fight I would pay. Sure.
We'll split it.
Yeah, we'll split that for sure.
That's the key to watching these fights. You got to find 3 or 4 people to come over and I'll split it. Then all of a sudden that $70 is not $70.
We'll split that one for sure. On the text box, Tangerine says, define diva for me.
Dramatic.
I don't think I was a diva then, because I wasn't dramatic.
I don't think you were a diva.
No, I don't think I was the diva as a wide receiver. I don't really think Meech, Brett, or me was really much of a diva. Now, somebody might say otherwise who played with me, but I don't think I was.
You weren't a diva.
I don't think we were divas at all.
When I think of diva, I think of T.O., I think of Antonio Brown, I think of Odell Beckham Jr., and I'm sure I could keep going if I really sat here and think about it.
So the definition is someone that is a self-important person who is temperamental and difficult to please. That wasn't us because
that's not you.
I don't remember one time where Meech or Brett or myself ever got onto the quarterback that we wasn't getting the ball, or be on the sideline mad and vocal and displaying our displeasure for not getting the ball. Not one time.
Yeah, y'all weren't a diva.
So I'll take that back.
Not literally every receiver is a diva. But the stereotype, the stigma surrounding receivers are that they are divas.
Mm-hmm.
DK Metcalf has had a moment here or there where he was labeled a diva.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
It happens.
It happens. Rodney Nostell says the next meme. Oh, yeah. Le'Veon Bell will be on the next meme.
Yes.
If he gets out there and fights Jake Paul. Alex says a boxer died in fraternity tournament a couple of years ago. I'm telling you, man, these folks just jumping in the ring think it's a game. It is dangerous, and you better know what you're doing. You better have some training, or you're going to get yourself knocked out permanently. Who is the best receiver in the
Caleb Webb
class of 22 class not named Squirrel White?
Caleb Webb. I think he's going to be a stud.
I like that one.
And I also really like Cam Miller. I think he's going to be – I think he is underrated and somewhat forgotten about because he committed somewhat early.
And didn't play a
junior year
because of COVID, because that area canceled high school football.
And he's not flashy. He's not flashy. He reminds me of Jawan Jennings, not necessarily in terms of personality, but in terms of style of receiver. Just a tough-nosed kid that is not going to run past you or, just out-athlete you, but he's going to out-physical you.
Jake Paul fighting non-boxers has hyped up his name. Why are people calling him a great boxer? He hasn't fought a pro boxer. Jake Paul was a non-boxer at one point, and I ain't calling him a great boxer. He's fought a bunch of dudes that are not pro boxers. I agree with you there. Mad County Vol.
Each knockout for him, though, it legitimizes him a little bit more. Now I'm starting to take him a little more serious after this weekend.
I think it's easy to do that.
I still think it's a show, but
I understand that's the natural reaction, is to take him more serious with the knockouts. But it's who are you knocking out though? You're knocking out another non-professional boxer.
Yes, that's fair.
That's what you should do. If you've been working on your craft for a longer amount of time, and you're going to be against someone who has not, you're supposed to do that. I want to see what he does versus a professional boxer.
I know the solution.
What?
We fly him to Knoxville, and we put him in a ring with Andy.
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Be right back.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. I'm excited to share my new Keller Williams Realty app so you can tour homes without leaving yours. Not only can you search for homes in specific areas and neighborhoods, you can also have access to real-time market snapshots on stats like average home price and days on market, plus commute times from your office, school zones, and much more. Download my app today and get the most accurate information on buying, selling, and investing in real estate in your area. Just search for the Keller Williams Realty app and click on More in the lower right-hand corner. Type in Jennifer Morris in the Your Agent search bar, then save and you're set. And as always, feel free to reach out at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit. You get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
Time to point out some silliness. We do that during our For What segment, and Ben has us covered today, and it is a good one.
LaVar Ball, please come to the front of the congregation once again. I know this is a familiar territory for you, but today you get an attaboy, sir, or a for what, I should say. I mean, you get an attaboy for having two ballers in the league. betting on yourself. I respect it. But. You done did it again. You couldn't keep your mouth shut.
Couldn't help himself.
Saying that LaMelo, who plays for the Charlotte Hornets, which is owned by the GOAT, Michael Jordan, said that LaMelo doesn't need advice from Michael Jordan, and asked, when is the last time he won a championship? This was in an interview. This article doesn't really do a good job of explaining where the interview is, but he said, how often does he seek out advice from Michael Jordan? Never. What advice he gonna give him? You tell me what advice he gonna give him. When's the last time he won a championship and the game has changed? What's he gonna tell him? Now, I do agree that the game has changed significantly, but you don't think that he can't offer any advice on how about just simply conducting yourself as a professional and preparing and training and being a good teammate, being a leader? I mean, he has no advice to offer.
The greatest basketball player ever can't give you any advice, LaVar Ball.
And maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like 6 championships outweighs the fact that he has not won one in over 20 years.
LaVar Ball, man, you would have. I would have thought he would have learned a lesson from how he handled Lonzo and things that he said. Just some pretty out of pocket things. I mean, throwing a little shade at LeBron at one point. How he conducted himself when his son was with the Lakers. You would think that he had learned a lesson, and the crumbling of the big baller brand would have humbled him a little bit, but no. And listen, I'm still a LaVar Ball fan. I'm a fan. He took 3 sons and turned them into NBA players, and people lose sight of that. I wish my dad would have put me in that position. Now, he does say some crazy stuff, but let's not lose sight of a father being there and motivating and pushing and their kids to be great. I'm a fan of that, but I'm not a fan of his latest comment on Michael Jordan. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. He's lost it again.
Has lost it.
But it's been a while, man. It has been a while since he's been in the news, so it was time. It was time.
Folks forgot about me. I need to say something crazy.
Stay in your lane. The only thing Whitlock expert in is snacks. I remember he said that on Cowherd. Oh man, I was rolling.
He is in terms of what comments are like the just off the wall bizarre comments. He is the Donald Trump of the basketball world. Like fake news, sad, huge.
Just
like that's the type of LaVar comments that he makes.
865, I ain't touching that. 865, 255-03. But LaVar is always on that, man. Always on that. Matt County Vol, you ain't slick, Ben. Says, I'm dying, Ben. You are petty. Andy would demolish Jake Paul, and you know it. Chip Payne says, Swain, when are you going to give your answer about which coach should get Coach of the Year in the SEC? Should be Heupel simply because he took a team with 70 scholarship players to a winning season. I'm sorry, I can't put Josh Heupel number 1 as Coach of the Year. I can't do it. I will put him over Sam Pittman, though. I think what Josh Heupel did this year was more impressive than what Sam Pittman did this year. What Sam Pittman did in the last 2 years is very impressive, but if I'm taking just this year, I thought Josh Heupel did more than what Sam Pittman did. I thought it was more impressive. More impressive. But I can't put Heupel number one. I can't give him the award when you have, two teams that only lost one game all season long and playing in the college football playoff. I just can't do it. Hour 2 is in the books. Hour 3 coming up.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work from anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or online at ofonox.com, or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Eight 865-255-03. Iris Networks hotline. Like I understand why folks are looking at Josh Heupel and saying he should have won Coach of the Year.
Because they're a Tennessee fan?
Has there been someone outside of Tennessee that has suggested that Josh Heupel should win Coach of the Year? Should have?
Not that he should have won it, but that he should have been in the conversation. I've heard Cole Kublik talk about Josh Heupel being in the conversation, Greg McElroy about Josh Heupel being in the conversation, Peter Burns, Josh Heupel being in the conversation, Paul Feinbaum as well. That seems to be the consistent theme, is that he shouldn't win the award, but he should be in the conversation.
Well, talking about him, if you were talking about the Coach of the Year, and then you also mentioned a great job that Josh Heupel did as the first-year coach, isn't that making him part of the conversation?
Yeah.
I mean, so I think he has been part of the conversation. I think he has been recognized, and he should be recognized. We have talked about Josh Heupel's, the job that staff has done, all year long. But we're talking Coach of the Year inside of the conference. And how do you take a Josh Heupel and put him above someone that was as dominant as Georgia was all year long? I mean, I understand that the expectations were for them to be where they are, but they still did it. And Kirby still had a team that didn't come close to them until the SEC championship game. And that's pretty strong. Now, Sam Pittman, I love the way that he coaches his football team, the way he went for the win against Ole Miss. It did not work out. Like what he did last year was very, very, very impressive. Even though they won, 3 games, the way they played, you saw the makings of what Arkansas could be under Sam Pittman, and then boom, this year, they have some success. They go out there and smash Texas at home, and Texas went on to kind of prove that they wasn't that good. But still, like that was Arkansas announcing themselves to the country. Like we ain't the same Arkansas. We here. And then what they did in the SEC was pretty dang good. And man, they got some NFL players. They got some NFL players for sure. Traylon Burks he'll be a 10-year player in the league, man. He'll be a dang good NFL receiver. But I would give Heupel the edge over Sam Pittman, taking 70 scholarship players that turned into 69 scholarship players, and what he did with that staff, and not having a quarterback, and then taking a quarterback and making him play the best of his career. I mean, I would go Kirby number 1. Nick Saban took a team that was, only lost 1 game, but I would take Kirby and then Heupel number 2, and then from there,
you and I could not be further apart in this conversation. That's perfectly okay. I think it's funny, but I think the complete opposite. I still think that Sam Pittman should win SEC Coach of the Year. He went 3-7 last year, comes back and goes 8-4, and there was really only 2 bad games on the schedule in which they didn't look good. When they got blown out at Georgia, 37-0, and then they lost to Auburn at home. But they still went 8-4, beat down Texas, was a 2-point conversion away from beating a 10-win Ole Miss team. They lost to Alabama, who may win the national championship by a touchdown, and had a really good chance to win that game on the road late in the season. And the 8-4 was in a tougher division. You beat Texas A&M. You beat all 3 of your rivals. Sam Pittman is my SEC Coach of the Year, and if I had to go somebody else, I'd go Nick Saban. Having to replace Mac Jones, Najee Harris, 3 NFL offensive linemen, replacing a couple of key guys on defense, having to go out and get some key transfers and plug them in and make that gel. And you go on to win the SEC championship. You beat Kirby Smart. You're going to play in the national championship game. So, because, yes, I know stunning that I think Alabama's going to beat Cincinnati. I know you're real shocked by that.
Oh, yeah,
but,
definitely shocked.
Like, to me, that's more of a – both Sam Pittman and Nick Saban put on better coaching jobs than Kirby Smart. I mean, Kirby took advantage. I think it's fair to say, yes, it's in hindsight, with the way that Georgia performed in the SEC championship game, that Georgia took advantage of playing in the East and getting a average Clemson team by recent Clemson standards. I think that Kirby underperformed this year. I've detailed that several times. So I'm going Sam Pittman, Kirby Smart, and then – or Sam Pittman, Nick Saban, I'm sorry. And then, I mean, it gets into the other coaches.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Arkansas, and Arkansas only won 3 SEC games last year. This year they beat Missouri, they beat LSU, they beat Mississippi State, and they beat Texas A&M. So they won one more SEC game this year than last year. Part of those 8 wins was against the Texas team that beat down, and Texas went on to prove that they're not ready, they're not that good. They beat the Arkansas Pine Bluff, and I saw that game. I watched it. I don't know why I watched that game, but that game could have been 100-0. And they got a chance to beat Rice. So their record looks good, but they only won one more SEC game this year than last year. So that's why I'm not strong on Arkansas and Sam Pittman winning the award as you are. But yeah, I got Kirby 1, Heupel 2, Saban 3, and I really don't even want to put Heupel number 2. I kind of want to put Nick Saban 2 because I just feel like to be at that level, it takes a great coaching job. Like I think they just dismiss greatness and they dismiss dominance. They just dismiss it, and it's hard to play at that level. Now, replacing Mac Jones, certainly hard. And a first-year starter in Bryce Young, I thought Nick did a really good job this year as well. But I think a lot of people, because they don't like Kirby, they don't like Alabama and Nick Saban, I think sometimes they don't get that credit that maybe they deserve for being Coach of the Year because they get all the talent. And they have all the talent, so people are like, well, that's what they should do. Well, last time I checked, recruiting was a part of coaching.
Well, then, where does Lane Kiffin fit into the conversation?
He fits in there too, man. That's why it's tough.
Because, I don't even want to have this conversation.
Lane fits in there. I mean,
don't like what I have to say. So
no, Lane fits in there too.
I mean, he won 10 games in the regular season for the first time in Ole Miss history, and the defense looked night and day difference than it did last year.
Yeah, he belongs in that conversation. Like he belongs. That's why is great as a job that Josh Heupel and company did. They can't win the award for me. Like Heupel can't win the award for me because there's so many other coaches that did more. Like that what Lane Kiffin did was pretty damn remarkable and impressive. Now it's different than the circumstances that Josh Heupel had to deal with, but winning 10 games, and if Ole Miss would have took care of business against Auburn, we might be talking about a whole nother conversation about the SEC West. Mm-hmm. It would have been a whole different conversation. So, yeah, you got to throw in Lane Kiffin in there, and I was wrong for not putting him in that conversation earlier in our conversation. Like it's Kirby, it's Nick, it's Heupel, it's Lane, and those are 5 coaches that all did a really, really good job. So who is more deserving than the others? I guess that's what it comes down to. But all of them did a great job coaching, for sure. And then, Mark Stoops did a good job. He did a good job.
Nobody wanted to hear that when I said that 2-3 weeks ago when we had this initial conversation.
He did a good job.
Right.
Yeah, he did a good job. I wouldn't put him in the top 3, but he did. No. He did a good job. Shane Beamer did a good job. After losing the way they lost to Tennessee. So there's a lot of coaches who did a good job. Mm-hmm. But you got to pick the one that was just more impressive and maybe more dominant. And that's why I agree with who they picked. As much as I dislike the team and don't like the way Kirby kind of conducts himself, and still gonna call a spade in my in my opinion, in my eyes. 865-255-03. Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. That is a great conversation to have. And I would love to hear different fan bases, different fans from different fan bases share who they think should be Coach of the Year, because I think the answers will be so different because there's 5 or 6 coaches who did a really, really, really good job this year. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy. Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do, though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Chip Payne. Jason Griffith is today's guest host on the Swain Event. Chip, I will fight you if you ever refer to me as that again.
I mean, the last person I heard talk up Kirby that much was Mike.
I will fight you. Daniel Vall is emotional. Says, man, both of y'all turn your back against the Vols. For me, I'm VFL no matter what. What does that have to do with the conversation, Daniel? What does that have to do with the conversation? Are you admitting that you are biased no matter what? It's time to get to Austin Price of AllQuest.com, who joins us. His time is brought to you by Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. AP, man, good morning.
What's going on, Jason? How are you?
Man, fantastic. How are you, sir? We are a couple days away from Tennessee's bowl game against Purdue. Tennessee finished strong in recruiting. Things are calm right now. Everything's good, man.
And we're only a few days away until, ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
That's right. Sandoval will be nice to the Swain household. I know that for sure. We have been good over here. Good. Behave.
What's the dog's name again? What are you getting the dog? That's what we want to know.
Some treats. Maybe some chew toys. No,
Ace.
He don't need any more chew toys. Maybe some chews, things like that.
Did you get the ear? Is the ear totally fixed?
Yeah, his ears are cropped. Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah. So he was neutered
last week. Thursday, right?
Yeah. So he's fine
That's
now.
what we all wanted to hear.
Yeah, he's neutered. Mm-hmm. So
we got him fixed up. So by the time the February signing day rolls around, you can hold him in your lap for your next recruiting video you post on VolQuest.
I like it.
Oh man, that was great, man. That was wholesome content right there, AP. That was
well.
wholesome.
I'd done the update the day before, and Max had been moving around on the couch, and so I referenced him. And then several people were like, "Well, you need to put more. We need to see more of Max." And I was like, "Well, why not give the people what they want?"
Yeah, man.
You're
Was
just
wholesome.
a great man of the people.
That was wholesome right there, AP. That was good right there. Is K Mays leaving or staying? What's going on with him? I know that All-Star game, the NFL, what's that called?
Collegiate Bowl.
The Collegiate Bowl announced that he was playing in it. Where is K Mays on his decision on whether to leave or stay?
I would say he's probably 90% gone. I don't think it's exactly 100. I think there's, Cade talked about NIL stuff, when he was out on Tennessee Prime. I still think there's an option for a possibility of that, but I would say more than likely Cade has played his last game in Orange because I don't think the ankle is going to allow. He's tried. He's taken the shot. He's tried to rehab hard. But he's not ever been able to return to the practice field, and I don't think at this point I don't see him being able to play come December 30th.
Big time projection question: who plays right tackle next year? Assuming Cade does leave.
Well, I mean, one would think that Gerald Mincey would have a strong shot to. That's kind of probably where I would lean at this point, unless Tennessee can go out and get a more experienced tackle, or unless someone else comes along and beats out Mincey. I mean, can Jeremiah Crawford do that? To me, it's going to be a hotly contested spot in spring practice and then fall camp. Would be where I would go.
Any word on William Parker Griffin and kind of how he's been this year? We had a question about him earlier in the show and kind of his development.
I hadn't heard much about him, Ben. I think they like him, but still raw, still inexperienced. And, again, spring and fall camp will be big for him. Can he insert himself into the mix? I mean, I made this joke on Tennessee Prime a month or so ago. I think the guy that's best equipped to be Tennessee's next right tackle is playing defensive tackle in Tennessee. And I think Omari Thomas has got day one, day two NFL draft pick as an offensive lineman written all over him. Let's put it this way. If he played 20 years ago, Philip Fulmer would have moved him to offensive line by the end of the first fall camp.
And Jeremy Pruitt probably would try to move him to corner. like he tries to move everybody.
Would you look at the size on him?
He'll be great cover two, jamming up the receiver.
Did you see how well he moved his feet on the basketball court? That'll translate.
No, I agree. I agree with you, though. Coach Fulmer used to gobble up all those players and put them on the offensive line. No doubt about that. Another question that we got, I want to ask you, AP, is who is the best receiver coming in this class outside of Squirrel White?
I'll go Caleb Webb. I mean, when you play in 7A in Georgia and you have the season he just had, I would probably go him. I do think that Chaz Nimrod is could potentially be a sleeper. And then Cam Miller, he plays. I mean, I kind of think that all of the players at that position, probably have a little bit of bust value to them because there's some unknowns about every one of them. They also have some real boom value too. I mean, there's some raw athletic ability in Cam Miller that I think is really special. He played at Memphis Academy of Health and Science for his dad. Said it was coincidentally on the '96 Memphis team that beat Peyton Manning in the Vols.
We're not mentioning Memphis this week.
Forget Memphis.
Exactly. But either way, Cam, I think has really not reached any close to his potential as a player. I think when he gets in the college weight room, when he gets in the nutrition program, and he just, really focuses on playing receiver and not kind of playing everything like he did for Moz, he has a real chance to go boom. Can Squirrel White get big enough? He's a tiny guy. But he can run, but can he still get big enough? And how does it translate? Caleb Webb, probably the most complete of the guys just because he's bigger, can run, competed at a high level in the top classification in Georgia. But that don't always translate either. There have been guys in that top classification that you thought would translate, and they didn't. So, again, it's really a crapshoot till you get them here and you kind of let things play out. But Tennessee, I think, has got a nice, solid quartet of four that could really help this team going forward.
In your eyes, Austin, just how well did the early signing period go for Tennessee?
Well, I was asked this last night, kind of to grade the class. I think the overall class is a B. I think when you put everything involved and what Heupel was tasked with, I think it's an A. To get what they got out of this first, 20, I'm super impressed by the close. And the close just isn't the three they got on signing day. The close is the last, 3-4 weeks, getting Caleb Webb, getting Josh Josephs, getting, D. Williams, getting, Christian Harrison and Jordan Thomas. And then, of course, on signing day to get those three big ones, which were all top 200 players, by several different ranking systems. So, I'm just real impressed by what they were able to get done, considering all that they were kind of tasked with when they first got here. they know it's got to be better in 23. It's already off to a nice start in 23, and they have positioned themselves well for some really nice players in that 23 class. So 23's got to be better than 22. But had you told me 10 months ago Tennessee's going to land this group of guys, I would have probably told you you're crazy. And kudos to the staff for getting it done.
Tennessee filled some holes for sure on signing day. What other holes that they did not fill do you think that they will address maybe with the next signing day or the transfer portal?
Well, I think they've got to get a top flight corner. And the problem is that's going to be hard to come by. Somebody with some experience, somebody that can step in and play right away. I think that's important. A receiver that can play outside, Jason, is really important. For my liking, they've got to be able to go and get somebody that, is built similar. You don't have to be the exact same, but similar to Cedric Tillman. And, we'll see if anybody goes in the portal in the next, day or two, or right after the bowl game. I think ultimately that's an important position because, I look at the wide receivers on the roster. Jalen Hyatt feels like a slot to me, and so does Jimmy Callaway. So, I think they're going to be fine at slot. Obviously, said is said. But who else can they get to put outside? I think that's a big deal in the recruiting or in the transfer portal process over the next several months. But the one thing I do like that Tennessee's doing, Jason, they're not just taking bodies to take bodies. They're being more selective. That's one of the things that we get on our board all the time is, so who else are they after besides the diverse kid from Albany? Right now, really nobody. I don't believe that. Okay, believe what you want. There's just not. They're not just going to take anybody just because a kid was ranked as a 4-star in 2018 and has 6 tackles or 4 catches for 9 yards or whatever. He's not that. What's that mean? That means his ranking didn't live up to what he was on the field at his first stop. So that kid's really not a 4-star anymore or whatever. So you want to find guys that have been productive or that have talent, and really you got to do a deep dive on. Okay, that kid we think has talent, but why has he not had as much success as he's capable of? And sometimes there is a backstory to why this stuff has happened, and sometimes there is not. And when there's not, then I think you move on from a kid. But when there's a backstory, you might have a little more conviction on trying to take a chance on a kid. So Tennessee's going to be real selective, I think, and not just take warm bodies to have warm bodies.
Is Verse still a around Christmas decision, you think?
I think sometime between Christmas and New Year's, unless somebody can convince him to come take that January visit. And right now, I would lean to no January visit. I would lean to sometime a decision between, basically between this coming Saturday and when Tennessee plays its bowl game. That's kind of where I'm at with the Jared Verse deal. He and Rodney Garner have built a nice bond. I think Tennessee has been trending there. It's not done by any stretch of the imagination, but I think Tennessee has continued to move in the right direction in the eyes of Jared Verse.
Who are some high school guys who did not sign during the early signing period that Tennessee is going to pursue this next month and a half or two?
Also, really small group. I mean, Ahmad Moten, defensive lineman from South Florida, and I said last night in our chat, potentially Jordan James. I mean, I think again, less than 20% chance that Tennessee goes after that one, but I don't want to close the door on it either. And so we'll see, if they decide to go, and if they do, if he decides to visit here in the month of January, because I do think he's going to take some visits, and so that's kind of where it's at. The list is very small on prep kids. Tennessee has continued to do a deep dive on all kids that didn't sign. The reason he took the visit is because, as told to me by the dad, the reason he took the visit was because he had promised the position coach, hey, we'll come give the new coach a look and blah, blah, blah. And I think the position coach knew that might, being able to get DeMario Tolan on campus might give him a chance to be retained, to kind of prove his worth a little bit. And obviously, things did not work out. We'll see. I mean, you've seen kids ask out before. We'll see if that happens. If that happens, I think Tennessee would be in a really good spot there. But, I would still lean to him sticking with LSU at this point.
Gotcha.
Who are your SEC coaches of the year? This has been a hot topic the last 2 days.
We doing coaches or coach?
SEC coach of the year. I've been high on Sam Pittman and Nick Saban. Swain is high on Josh Heupel and Kirby Smart as his top two.
And we both made a mistake of leaving out Lane.
Yes.
Conversation. He needs to be in there too.
Not really a mistake. There's just a lot of coaches to mention this year.
Yeah.
But where do you fall in the SEC Coach of the Year conversation?
Is this a before Atlanta Coach of the Year award or after?
Well, the award was voted before.
It's before. I think anytime you can go undefeated, that's an accomplishment in this league. I do think that Josh Heupel did a really good job. I do think, Lane Kiffin did a really good job. Anytime you can win 10 games in Oxford for the first time in program history, I think that's to be commended. Ben's point about Sam Pittman is good. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of quality candidates. And here's the other thing. Gary Rankin just keeps rolling over state titles at Alcoa. And sometimes he gets neglected for Coach of the Year and that type of thing for, at different levels when he really shouldn't. Just people take for granted the greatness of it all.
Yep.
The same thing with Saban. I mean, people just take for granted that, every year. I mean, you're us that pressure you're on to be there every year. I mean, the fact that Maryville football has made it to the semifinals every year since the 90s is just insane to me. And so, same thing with Saban. The way they just continue to roll on, even when they did not have their best this year, they were able to find a way to, go out there and get some stuff done and win an SEC championship and be the number one seed into the playoffs. So, not to be a total cop-out answer, but there's several quality candidates this year. But if it's a strict regular season deal, I would lean towards Kirby just because I think anytime you can go undefeated, I don't care how good his roster is. Anytime you can go undefeated in this league in the regular season, it's a real accomplishment.
Austin Price, VolQuest.com. Austin, I always appreciate your time. And, no, we cannot finish this up without bringing up Navy Shuler. Navy Shuler transferred from Appy State, and he is the son of the great Heath Shuler. I'm assuming walk on. I'm assuming that he just wants to wear the orange. I know he's going to compete his butt off, but I don't see any scenario where he is going to be number one or QB2. Just walk us through kind of how that came to fruition.
Well, I think Navy wanted to enjoy the college experience, wanted to still play football, and he loves Tennessee, and it just made sense on a lot of levels. And he had visited with Heupel and company when Heupel was at UCF, and Tennessee needs depth in the quarterback room. So you get a smart kid who can run your offense, who can make a lot of the throws out there. It sure doesn't hurt, and you just don't know what Joe Milton's going to do. And so I think this was a real win for the Shulers. I think it's a real win for Tennessee. And, I know Heath and Nicole are proud parents and super excited to, be able to come to Knoxville or go to road games, a lot for the next several years. And so this is kind of an exciting time for them. And, Heath is as good of an ambassador for this place as just about anybody. And so, loves Tennessee. Brother Benji lives in Farragut. His mom lives off Broadway. So they're over here a lot anyway, but now they'll be over here even more. And, I think this is the fifth Shuler to wear orange. So that's a lot. Maybe he said maybe the most, of any family. He goes, I'm not sure on that, and I'm not sure either. I started trying to think about the McKenzies, the Majors, the Colquitts. The Colquitts I think have 4, Does anybody have more than that? I mean, I'll let some historian tell me if there's more. I don't know. But you know, I think it's pretty neat for the entire family.
Hopefully the Mannings will catch up with that number in the future. How much do you think Shuler will have to pay D. Beckwith for the number 21? Will he try to go get the number 21?
You know, I think he'll want to wear number 8. Ben, I can't off the top of my head. Is there an offensive guy number 8 right now?
Number 8?
No, it was Ty Chandler's number, and I don't believe anybody replaced him.
Nope. Yep. Yeah. No one replaced him. There's someone, Bradley Jones. DB, 6'2", looks like
he can wear. It's a defensive guy.
He's a walk-on.
So he can wear number 8. You know, I think it would be neat. I mean, like, don't you think? I mean, like, if he got in the game, it'd be super neat. So
it would.
Again, I think anytime this type of stuff can marry together, it's a real win for everybody involved.
Last thing for you, Austin, on the way out the door. Where can I and the good people come find you tomorrow night at the Tennessee-Arizona game so we can get your autograph and get a photo with you?
I don't know. I'll be somewhere in the one in the lower bowl. I don't know. I don't know where my tickets are. I've got basically my family's in town, and I've been able to do a lot of nice friends have been able to figure out how to get enough tickets for all of us in the lower bowl. And we're all kind of separated out. I don't know where exactly I'll be sitting, though, because I've not honestly looked at the tickets.
Well, make sure you tweet out a photo so we can come say hello.
Well, I told everybody on the general quarters last night, if they come find me, I'll tell them the next name to watch out for in recruiting.
Sounds good. Maybe you'll tell me, too.
Hey, what's the next name to watch out for in recruiting?
You'll have to find me tomorrow night at the arena, Jason, and since I know you won't be there, I won't have to worry about answering your question.
Is it Ty Simpson?
Ty Simpson's practicing right now.
Ty's a bammer.
He's practicing right now. Bowl prep.
Literally.
I got tickets to the game. I just can't go, man, because it's just me and the girls. So I don't have any babysitters.
Looks like 2 of them have to stay home by themselves.
No, man, I ain't leaving my kids at home.
Leave the oldest with one of the youngest.
No, I ain't doing that. So we'll be watching the game on TV, man. We'll have to hook somebody else up with the tickets and just watch from the house. So.
Oh yeah, Ty Evans was wearing number 8, but he's gone.
Yeah, so 8's open, but I want him to wear 21. All right, AP, thanks, man.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas to everybody, and Jason. We'll talk to you next week, which will be our last visit before the calendar turns to 22. But enjoy doing your show every week, and you're a real pleasure to deal with, my man.
I appreciate you, man. Had a good time, man. All the different platforms. Tennessee Prime and Locker Room and here. So let's do it again next year, man.
Will do. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas.
You too. VolQuest.com's Austin Price. His time is brought to you by Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. Her telephone number is 865-257-7897. If you are looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you can shoot her an email if you want to do that. Jennifer Morris, 865@gmail.com. And she gives great Christmas presents to the kiddos. And knows how to pick out good places for lunch. Right, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
Swain Event. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work from anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or online at ofonox.com, or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy. Fellas, When it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. irisnetworksusa.com.
Tennessee Alumni Tailgate, December the 30th, the day of the Music City Bowl, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'll be hosting at the Old Red restaurant there on 300 Broadway, Nashville, Tennessee. You can RSVP by simply going to alumni.utk.edu/21 Music Bowl. So you can go to the website there, alumni.utk.edu, and find information on how to RSVP. I'll be hosting the tailgate, the Tennessee tailgate by the UT Alumni Chapter. Looking forward to it. There will be surprise VFLs in attendance. We'll have a good time, 3 hours with our Big Orange family. So if you are going to the game, we'd love to see you. Go get registered. Come hang out with us for the Tennessee tailgate, brought to you by Tennessee Alumni.
I am not feeling good about this basketball game tomorrow night. I'll be honest.
I told you how I felt.
I've been looking into Arizona statistically, and
it don't
it
look
is
good.
Intimidating on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Third quickest tempo in the country.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Their offense is the 14th most efficient according to KenPom.
What?
7th most offensive defensively.
What about their rebounds?
Offensive rebounds, they are 12th in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Blocks, 4th in the country. Their starting center, Christian Coloco.
That's it. You got it.
He ranks. Some of these names are absurd.
Oh, they're
like their best player. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Azulis Tublis.
Oh, I got you. I got the guy right here. That's it. Say it again.
Azulis.
That's right.
Tublis.
Tubelis.
That
was good though.
Whew. But these names, they have the Crisa. How do you pronounce the double? How do you pronounce back-to-back I's? They don't speak that in English. They don't teach that in English.
Hey, Bob Viscovi. How do you say these dudes' names?
Well, what's funny is Santi met with the media yesterday, and he knows these players.
I'm sure
he played with them as part of the Benedict Mathurin. Apparently, he goes by Ben because that's how Santi referenced him. They played in the Global Academy together.
It's like Santiago should go by San.
No, he should go by Santi.
Or Santi. He should not go by Bob. It's nowhere close.
Well, that's what he does when he's getting his coffee because Americans mispronounce Santiago. So he just goes with Bob, which makes sense if you're just getting coffee.
I understand.
Picking up your coffee. But the point that I was making about blocking shots is their center, 7th best blocking percentage in the country.
Yep.
They just
number one in the Pac-12.
They look really, really, really good on paper. They look really good on paper. Now they are inexperienced. 355th in experience. Their average experience per player is 0.6 years, so not even a full year on average per player. And as you mentioned earlier, one of the tallest teams in the country. They're the second tallest team in the country.
Yeah, they average like 6'7". Like their starting lineup, the shortest dude is 6'3", and then everybody else is 6'6", 6'7", 6'11", 7'1". So that's going to be a unique challenge. But KenPom has Tennessee winning this game, right?
Yes, 75-73. Now the one thing I have noticed, they don't take a lot of threes. Their 3-point percentage is, well, there's in terms of their style of play is 204th, and then they are 115th in 3-point percentage at 34.8%.
The three ball is gonna be our best friend, buddy.
It's interesting to see Tennessee's breakdown on KenPom. He kind of lists out the major contributors, the significant contributors, and then a bunch of role players, and then somebody with a limited role. The person with the limited role is Justin Powell, who is used on 12 to 16% of possessions.
Well, he's gonna have to be used on more than that, and he's going to have a good day behind the arc. I'm telling you, man, we will have to shoot the ball.
I do think
well from the three.
Yeah, I do think if they make their shots, they'll be fine in general, as long as something else doesn't just go completely wrong. Kennedy Chandler viewed as the major contributor on the team. Santiago and Zakai, the two significant contributors. And then everybody else is role players. Folke, Olivier, Josiah, Victor, Brandon Huntley, Urosh, Jamai, they're all role players. And then Quentin DeBunje, Jonas Adu, and Brock Jancic are the bench warmers on here. So, statistically, looking at this game on paper, hasn't made me feel warm and fuzzy.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. But love to be surprised. Love to be surprised. Tomorrow's game will be like David and Goliath. Sam Vol said, "What's the spread?" They don't do the spread the day before, right? They do it the day of in basketball.
Well, it's typically about 20 or not. It's like I think like 24 hours before. It's typically the afternoon on the day before the game. So I would expect it to come out this afternoon. They announce the refs the day of the game, but the spread typically comes out the afternoon on the day before the game. So I'm sure it'll come out this afternoon.
Let's see.
Yeah, Jennifer Morris makes a good point. It'll be funny to watch Ziegler go up against the second tallest team in the country.
Shoot the jumper, ZZ. Shoot the jumper.
Just don't get blocked.
Shoot the jumper. Yeah, I wonder how the height is going to affect him and his minutes. I really do. It depends on how he handles the situation. And when you drive the ball to the basket, man, you know, Zakai has mastered contorting his body to put his body into the defender to try to wall off the defender from blocking his shot, draw the contact. But there's a way to do it, and you know sometimes it works, but sometimes you just don't need to be going in there in the fours. You shoot the ball from the outside. But we'll see how Zakai Ziegler is able to draw the ball to the basket and finish around the basket against the tallest team in the Pac-12 and one of the tallest teams in the country. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch and see where we are. It's gonna be fun to see where we are. I hope it's not bad.
I just hope Tennessee's post players have a better performance in the game than they did in practice yesterday. That's all I'll say.
We have to play better in this game than we have all season long to win. We gotta have our best game of the season, and then we have to follow it up with another best game of the season in our next game against Alabama.
It's Villanova 2.0.
So we got to learn a lesson from Villanova. Got to learn a lesson. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Hope y'all have a great day. 10 o'clock already. Dang it.
Time flies when you're having fun. Talking about Sam Pittman as SEC Coach of the Year, baby. Woo! Big Sam!
Oh my gosh. Hour 3 powered by Low T
Yes,
Low T
sir.
Center and lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare. $155 a month for self-inject at-home testosterone treatments where they will ship directly to you. That is for self-pay. It is covered by most health insurance. Get your levels tested. Find a Low T Center nearest you. Go to the website and do that. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. Swain Event is fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Peace and love. Same time tomorrow, 7 a.m.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area or online at ofonox.com or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.